Hello everyone and welcome back to another week of the Jump Off Draft League. This week we are taking on Elo, who has a team of Goldengo, Thunderous, Arcanine Hisui, Samurott Hisui, Ursaluna Bloodmoon, Komao, Sceptile, and Gouging Fire, with Goldengo, Arcanine Hisui, and Sceptile as Terra captains. Which, this team has... Ooh, weird model glitch there, but this team has a bunch of heavy hitters. You have Gouging Fire able to set up with the ever-present Dragon Dance. Arcanine can hit hard with some Choice Banded Rockhead moves. You have Thunderous, who can be very nasty Disruption. Komao can set up. Ursaluna can set up. Samurott is able to set up Spikes. Goldengo is also able to set up, but it can also run like a Specs or Scarf set, which can be very dangerous to take on. Looking at the matchup, though, we see some very interesting shared weaknesses, though. We have 4 Pokemon weak to Ice, well, 3 immunities. We have 3 Pokemon weak to Fighting with 1 immunity. Though, nothing on the team is able to take on Annihilate on its own. Yes, you have Goldengo with the immunity, but it's weak to Ghost. Yes, you have Thunderous, who is neutral to Ghost, but and resistant to Fighting, but it is, of course, neutral to Ghost. But we can also run something like Ice Punch to do damage to it. Speed tiers are also very interesting. Nothing's ever outspeeding Sceptile, unfortunately. Even at min... well, I could outspeed min speed. But I don't think Sceptile shows up to this matchup, due to my present not many counters to it, but Sceptile just doesn't hit anything that hard for super effective damage. Nothing on my team is weak to Grass, and I have 3 resistances to Grass, so I don't think Sceptile shows up. Thunderous is actually the one that's got the very interesting speed tier, as it is 1 point speed faster than Latios and Ogerpon. So, Thunderous is actually very scary for my team, as this thing is definitely going to show up, and it outspeeds everything on my team. But then you have stuff like Gouging Fire at 91, Arcanine at 90, Samurott is at 85. When looking at this team, I think it's going to be Thunderous, Gouging Fire, Arcanine Hisui, Samurott Hisui, Goldengo, and Ursaluna. I don't think Komao shows up. Komao really likes to go for Clangorous Scales when it sets up, but we have Clefable with Unaware who can pretty easily counter it, as well as it being 4 times weak to Fairy, without a way to Terra, as Komao is one of their Terra captains. Here's where the problem comes in, though. They have 2 Terra captains that are definitely showing up, Goldengo and Arcanine Hisui. And Goldengo can really go one of 2 ways. Terra Fairy to be immune to Draco Meteor from Latios, or it could be Terra Ghost Specs, which can pretty handily go through my team. Which is why outspeeding Goldengo is actually very important. We need to be outspeeding Goldengo on quite a few Pokemon. With that in mind, let's take a look at what I am bringing. First up, we have Annihilate with Life Orb. 252 speed, max attack. Shadow Claw, close combat, U-turn, Ice Punch. Ice Punch threatens the Thunderous. Of course, we are Jolly instead of Adamant, because with Life Orb, that will Oko the Goldengo before it Terras with Shadow Claw. We are Shadow Claw over Rage Fist for this reason. I don't believe I need Rage Fist for this match. I am not getting Annihilate in that often to take damage, especially since we're going for fast offense on Annihilate, but you're not going bulky. So that's why we're going with that. Next up, we have Latios with max special attack, max speed, but we are modest on Latios, because nothing is taking a Soul Due Draco Meteor. Absolutely nothing on their team takes a Soul Due Draco Meteor. With Draco Meteor, Luster Purge, Shadow Ball, and Flip Turn. Flip Turn to get around. Shadow Ball is for Goldengo, even though Draco Meteor does handily take it out. Draco Meteor is not resisted by anything on their team. Nothing can take it. At least not take it well, because thanks to Soul Dew. So, Latios is going to be our breaker for this matchup. But with Latios as our breaker, we need something as our lead. And for our lead, we are going with Focus Sash Ogerpon. Now, Focus Sash Ogerpon is interesting, right? Because the Samurott is almost always going to lead, right? Well, actually, it might not lead for this matchup, but assuming that Samurott is the lead, it wants to set up spikes. But Ivy Cudgel will one-shot even max defense Samurott. Max HP, max defense. Does it? I think it does. I think I calc this. It's been a while since I made this team. As you probably know, it's been a while since Week 1 went up. That's because Week 1, due to it starting halfway through a week, was actually 2 weeks long. To make up for that, to allow people to have time to, play their matches. Then we have Spike's Taunt and Spike Stomping Tantrum. Stomping Tantrum, it doesn't two-shot Gouging Fire, unfortunately. However, this does allow Ogerpon to get damage into Gouging Fire. I should probably have U-turn on this set. Yeah, I need U-turn on this set. We're not bringing spikes. We're not bringing our own spikes. Because if the Samurott is Focus Sash, then I can U-turn Ogerpon out, while still getting the KO on Samurott, or getting chip into whatever switches in. Of course, doing so will cause Ogerpon Sash to break on re-switching, but the idea here is Ogerpon with Focus Sash will never die to Heat Crash from Gouging Fire, of course. And the idea is Ogerpon will deal damage into Gouging Fire, causing it to, take damage for something like Gliscor or Volcanion to come in and take on. And we have Taunt for the Thunderous. I have to... Oh, no, we're fine. Next up we have Clefable with Leftovers, Unaware, Moonblast, Moonlight, Grass Knot, and Calm Mind with max special defense, max HP. Clefable is essentially here to switch in should Volcanion fail to kill Gouging Fire. If Gouging Fire kills Volcanion by locking in the Outrage, Clefable is able to come in for free and set up with Calm Mind. And then Moonblast and Moonlight should very easily take on the rest of my opponent's team. In theory, anyway. Next up, we have Gliscor. Now, Gliscor was a little tricky for this matchup, because I wanted to be able to always two-hit KO Gouging Fire. And to do that, I've probably prepped a little too much for Gouging Fire. But the way I was looking at my opponent's team is... Should Gouging Fire fall, there's nothing stopping Latios, because they have no way of increasing their speed. And then Latios is able to just come in and Draco Meteor everything. So perhaps I'm being a bit too invested into taking on Gouging Fire. With this, Gliscor always lives, I think, a +1 Heat Crash. Again, it's been a while since I EV'd this. And hit it with an Earthquake that always two-hit KOs. Now, granted, that is a little troublesome for if it's, got itself set up with Dragon Dance. But this bulk should allow Gliscor to even take on Arcanine Hisui and what's it called? Golden Go. So, not a terrible waste in investment. And lastly, we have Choice Specs Volcanion with Steam Eruption, Flamethrower, Earth Power, and Focus Blast with Terra Ground. Well, I didn't mention it earlier with Annihilate, but Annihilate is only Terra Fighting. We do not plan on Terraing Annihilate for the most part. Probably have me Terra. Nah, Terra Fighting's fine. I think Terra goes for more Shadow Claw damage, but it's not really needed. Volcanion will always be survive if it's bulky. Gouging Fire, it'll be running Breaking Swipe instead of Outrage. And Volcanion always doesn't die to Breaking Swipe from Gouging Fire. And with choice specs, this does a lot of damage. A lot of damage. If Ogerpon managed to get Chip onto Gouging Fire beforehand, we don't even need to Terra, but should we need to Terra, Earth Power, Terra, Ground, Earth Power. God, I'm tripping up on my words today. Terra Ground, Earth Power always KOs Gouging Fire. And after Volcanion frees up for Latios, it's basically game over from there. If Thundurus switches in after Gouging Fire goes down, I could go into Clefable, who should be able to take a Thunderbolt pretty easily. Or even Gliscor, but I'd probably be covering for... Actually, no, I could probably just switch into Gliscor right away then after it goes down. Anyways, we'll know for sure once I start fighting my match, which we will get to pretty shortly. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Peace. Here we are for the match, and we do see the 6 that we were expecting to see. We do see Terra Fairy on the Goldango, Terra Electric on the Arcanine. I think we always lead Ogerpon, though. They start with Gouging Fire, and it is booster speed. Okay, I think we're just gonna go for the Terra Ground Earth Power. If it's Outrage, just never kills us. Perfect. And it was Earthquake. Samurott comes in. Switch to Ogerpon here. Useless Edge, I imagine? Knockoff. Focus Sash gets knocked off. But we're free to just go for an Ivy Cudgel here. Gee, do we? Yeah, I think we do. Nothing's gonna want to take this. Oh, it's Scarf! Scarf. Kinda wish I had Flamethrower now. Thunderwave, okay. Ugh. On the full para, that's annoying. We're just gonna go for Moonblast. Get some resistant damage in. I'm gonna go for a Grass Knot. Damn. It stayed in. Is it Scarf? No, it's not Scarf, obviously. Use Thunderwave. Let's think here. Do I just... Let's switch Annihilate in. Oh, got me. I'm good to Shadow Claw, though. But you know, if Ursaluna comes in... Your turn? Gonna knock off. I imagine Samurott comes in. Getting rid of Samurott's Choice Scarf is actually going to be very important here. Okay. Is it max speed? I think I give up Clefable here. And now we're good to just drop a Draco. As long as we don't miss. I shouldn't have said don't miss. Now I just spoke it into existence. Losing Ogerpon early is actually kind of annoying. Oh, Blood Moon comes in to take this Draco Meteor. Doesn't take it well. Now we can flip turn. Actually, can I just drop another one? No, I think I always flip turn. It lives! Oh. Oh, wow. I wasn't expecting it to live. I was not expecting it to live. Oh, this ain't good. I should have just Draco'd. Or Luster Purged. We'll just go for Ice Punch. Oh, I was not expecting that to live. I think I just let Annihilate go down here. I should have been Scarf Volcanion. Damn. I mean, I could still win this with Steam Eruption into Draco Meteor. Yeah, it just goes for Flare Blitz. And it is Rockhead. Terra Electric, that makes sense. Now I can't Terra Fairy the... We just Steam Eruption. And then... Oh, we get the burn. Does it not have Razor Shell? Walks into Dazzling Gleam. Is it Scarf? Draco Meteor should kill. Right? Yeah, it should kill. It doesn't. Shadow Ball doesn't KO. They get the Thunder Wave. I just need a Spadef drop. Oh, there we go. Come on. Another one would be great. I should just led with Shadow Ball. I thought Draco Meteor would be stronger. Do I live the next one? I don't think I do. Now, if I just led with Shadow Ball, that was mine. I thought Draco Meteor would get it. Damn. If I led with Shadow Ball, I thought Draco Meteor would be enough. I thought it'd be enough. I forgot Steel Resist Dragon. Ah, damn. Ah, man, what a fumble. What a fumble. Well, brought it down to a 1v1 at least. I threw Ogerpon away too early, I think. No water move on the Samurot's interesting. Oh no, wait, no, but I knocked off its Choice Scarf. Maybe they just forgot they were scarfed. They weren't scarfed anymore. I was not expecting them to lead with Gouging Fire. Well, we know for next time now, at least. I thank you for watching, and I will see you next week. Peace.